Welcome to the very important partner show by JBology. I'm your host, Krista Anakovsky, and I'm really excited to introduce you to an amazing young woman who I consider a friend, a valued member of the JBology community, and one of our featured speakers at JBology Live, someone you absolutely need to know everything about. Here is Heather Pearce-Campbell. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you, Krista. So happy to see you again.
Yes, absolutely. We had, I know I had the best time at JBology Live and Summit. And you and I got to have a lot of fun together and hikes in the ocean and tons of laughs. So I'm a little sad that we are virtual, but at least we all get to still be together. And I'm really happy that you're going to be such a big part of JBology Live at this time. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am based here in Seattle, Washington. I've been a practicing lawyer for 18 years now. The last handful of years, I set up a second business specific to what I call online information entrepreneurs. So these are folks that after practicing law for a while, I just saw they're not well served by the traditional legal market. And so I really wanted to create an alternate way for them to get their legal needs met. So I started an online business, and that's called the Legal Website Warrior, separate from my law practice, which is Pearce Law. But it's really about information, education, bundled templates, like easy. I really wanted legal support for coaches, consultants, online educators, speakers, and authors, people in that arena. I really wanted legal support to feel accessible, to feel like easier to do and to tackle. And I also want those folks to have legal support earlier in their path. The way that those businesses evolve, sometimes they don't get that support until very late in the game, and they can make big mistakes by then.
Yes, I really appreciate the work that you do. And at JBology, you are our go-to person for this, because it is really important as you're growing to start laying the right foundation, have the right wording on your website, on your email, all of these places. So as you grow, you're protected. And we really value that you provide that for us as well. So you've already kind of mentioned it, but I always ask, what's the main problem you solve and for whom?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, it's access to legal support for online information entrepreneurs. And I help them with both, I would say, their online service programs, their workshops, their, all of the ways that they generally deliver their services that don't include the online formats. And so there's a lot to be done. But, the big way I solve their problem is to, one, provide a lot of education up front so that they know what's missing. They know what they need to get plugged into their business, and then to try as best I can to make, at least a portion of that very accessible. And I can't solve everybody's problems. There are some businesses where I need to make referrals or provide other resources, but accessibility is really huge.
That's great. And you provide it in a way that we can understand it, that it doesn't feel too complicated, and that's really important. So as one of the JBology Live featured speakers, what are you going to be teaching us? We're all about information, education, and what you do is really, really important for the majority of our attendees. So tell us what they're going to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love walking people through. There's a framework I developed. I call it my 5-bucket framework for business protection. And it's really a way to simplify the roadmap for understanding where to look to legally get your business protected. And I walk people through 5 buckets. We talk about what's in that bucket. We really, I just try to make it so clear that people could walk away from that presentation. And even if they never worked with me or did anything else with me, they would have an understanding of what they could be looking at. What's one step that they could take to get something accomplished off that list?
Excellent. Well, we're really looking forward to that. And one last question for you. Yes. Well, first of all, I want to make sure everybody looks for the links that are here, finds Heather. You're going to have a virtual booth. You'll be able to connect with people, get some questions answered, take advantage of the free offer that Heather has here in the links in the directory. But tell us, why do you like JBology? Like, what is your experience? What has it done for your business?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's a couple things I absolutely love, and I'll tell a brief story about how I first met Jay. Is a mastermind buddy had just called me out of the blue and said, Heather, you need to come to this event. It's in 2 weeks and it's in Calgary. And I was like, I was 7 months pregnant. It's the middle of winter. I'm like, 2 weeks. I have to I'm like, what? But I really trusted him, and it was a yes. And so I showed up. I literally flew myself and my family to Calgary in the middle of a blizzard, 7 months pregnant. But sitting there, and I didn't know what I was in for. I'd never met Jay. I had no idea about what JVology was. But sitting there, I was like, you know what? I don't know how this fits. I know that it fits. And I bought Jay's big program like the first time I showed up, because I knew that it would fit for my business. And, I've been now to a handful of JVology since then. And what I love about Jay, I mean, one, he's a massive over deliver on information, which is really helpful when you're trying to piece all the parts together. Like, what needs to come next? What am I missing? So he's excellent at providing the roadmap, but then the sense of community that he builds in along with his events, with his online work. Like, I hosted a wine conversation in Cash yesterday.
Oh, great.
4 of the 10 or 11 people, right? And Jay teaches that at these events.
Yeah.
4 of the members are from JVology, and I met them at various JVologies along the way. So there's just an amazing community. He really has a knack for bringing phenomenal people together. And so I love that about his live events, about his online stuff. And so it's just a great place to show up and be in conversation with other people in business.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Heather. We're really looking forward to having you as one of our featured speakers, and there to hang out with, to meet in the breakout rooms, and to go out and visit Heather in the virtual booth as well. So we'll see you real soon, and can't wait.
I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you, Krista.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.